Hello, my name is Lambrette. Ghalia Abel and I are presenting a method to effectively and efficiently analyze animal behavior recordings.
Video recordings are a valuable tool for developing an understanding of animal behavior. Established methods of video analyses can be laborious and difficult to reproduce due to observer subjectivity.
Advances in machine learning methods for video analyses allow for rapid processing and the calculation of objective measurements of behavior. Yet these methods can be difficult to use, expensive, and need considerable computing power, thus limiting their accessibility to researchers. YOLO is a state-of-the-art object detection algorithm which can quickly detect objects and images with high accuracy while using limited computational resources. We used YOLO to streamline and simplify the analysis of animal behavior recordings.
A case study involving laboratory-housed fish was used to develop and validate this video analysis framework. Rainbow trout were continuously recorded in isolation tanks for up to 48 hours after an experimental procedure. During the procedure, fish were exposed to air and given an artificial irrigation treatment.
We randomly extracted around 1200 frames from the gathered footage, weighting the sample equally between experimental groups. We then drew rectangular boxes, known as bounding boxes, around the fish in each image using a free online annotation tool, MakeSense.ai. We used those annotations to train a YOLO model, which resulted in 99.9% accuracy for detecting fish. We then ran the trained model over all of the experimental footage, rapidly creating bounding box detections for the entire dataset. To promote access to these tools, we are creating an R package, AnimalTrackR, that will contain functions for each of the main workflow stages as well as other useful functions to aid visualization and analysis of animal detections.
The difference in location, dimensions, and shape of consecutive bounding box detections can be used to describe the movement of the fish. In this case, we used hidden Markov models to classify fish behavior into active and inactive states using the distance between consecutive bounding box centroids with the move-HMM package in R.
In this video, you can see a fish resting on the bottom of a tank with an orange bounding box around it, classified as inactive by the model. The figure below shows the bounding box centroid movement distance at each time point in the video. When the fish starts moving, the bounding box changes color to blue as the behavioral classification changes to active. We can use the classifications to calculate time spent in different behavioral states, then analyze patterns over long time periods.
Here is a time series point plot where the x-axis shows hours since the fish was exposed to air and the y-axis shows the mean time fish spent in an active state in 30-minute bins. The error bars represent the standard error within each treatment group. The colors represent 3 different treatment groups. Higher values show higher overall levels of activity. In this box plot with 95% confidence interval notches around the medians, the x-axis shows different treatment groups, while the y-axis mirrors the y-axis on the time series plot. The data shows the distribution of times in the active state for the fish in each group, from 21 to 26 hours post-exposure. These figures show that fish treated with full irrigation were generally more active and returned to higher levels of activity more quickly than other treatment groups.
The data presented in these figures were generated using AnimalTrackR. Around 550 hours of footage was analysed in less than a week at 100 frames per second on our hardware, significantly reducing the amount of active input needed from researchers for behavioural analysis in long continuous recordings. Through AnimalTrackR, we provide a simple and powerful video analysis tool with step-by-step instructions for developing and deploying YOLO detection models on experimental video data. The R script on screen shows all of the code needed to train, validate, and deploy highly accurate detection models without the need for a detailed knowledge of Python.
YOLO algorithms often provide a higher detection accuracy than traditional approaches in varied environments. The flexibility of the method allows researchers to retrofit modern analytical approaches to legacy datasets where computer vision was not prioritized in the experimental design. We'd like to thank our supervisors for their support. We'd also like to thank the NC3Rs. The validation of this technique was made possible through a grant-funded refinement project conducted in the Aquatic Resources Center of Exeter University. Finally, thank you all for listening, and we welcome any questions.